everyone, and I hope you're having a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this. Obviously for me it's nighttime. It is currently 11:18, and I guess with no further introduction, let's begin. Hauntings aside for a moment, it is important to note that the Salem Inn is one of the most historical treasures that can be found in Massachusetts. The Salem Inn is also known as West Cogswell House, was built in 1834 by Nathaniel West. West was one of the premier sea captains and merchants in Salem. The house would later become home to Union Civil War General William Cogswell. Cogswell would go on to serve as the 16th mayor of Salem, and was later elected as the city's 19th mayor as well. Over 30 years ago, the diplomatic West House found a new life as the Salem Inn, and Comrade's family came to Salem from Norwood in 1983, looking for a property to invest in, not knowing they were about to find their calling as innkeepers. Dick and Diane Pasquette and had never specified dream of having a bed and breakfast, but jumped at the opportunity to convert the old West House. The city of Salem was ecstatic with the wonderful job the Plymouth family did, restoring the Nathaniel West House, and thusly listed the house onto the National Register of Historic Places. Maybe that was my dog. After a time, Dick and Diane purchased a restored and equally historic second location of the inn, and Corwin House. With their growing success in Salem's growth as a destination city, the Hocus Pocus House, the premises additionally purchased the Peabody House and the inn's third house. More than 2 decades ago, in the year of 1995, Nick and Diane began the process of restoring the neglected Peabody House. It was a tedious process, as the house had layers of ill-advised decisions that the premises have to make their way through. Case in point, once they were finally able to rip up the stained and ratty carpet, which seemed to be cemented onto the floor for eternity, they found aluminum. Imagine the horror, just how terrified they must have been upon finding such ghastly discovery. But Dick and Diane carried on as they believed, hoped, or just figured whatever is beneath the aluminum can't be any worse than aluminum itself. Much to their couple's delight, beneath aluminum was some better indeed. Beneath the tacky tile was cherry and ash hardwood flooring from its original construction in 1874. With passion and elbow grease, the Penises, like they did with the West and Corwin houses, were able to once again bring the Peabody House back to life. Dick and Diane appeared to be the defamiliars of historic Salem. Today, the 3 historic houses, which make up Salem Inn, offer a unique atmosphere for its guests. The inn features 42 rooms, each one of a kind, unique and filled paradise. The inn has 21 fireplaces, because 20 is just simply not enough. But that's not all you can find at the inn. Even before the Salem Inn officially opened, reports of paranormal happenings began circulating around the city, and the energy within the houses that form the Salem Inn is undeniable. The guests and staff of the inn have had their fair share of encounters in each rooms. Some of the strange occurrences the guests and staff have experienced included the classic ghostly behavior of thievery. Countless times, members of the staff have complained of cold logs vanishing from the fireplaces, and even freshly set up candles disappearing from the surface on which they were placed upon. The premises are unquestionably more than just keepers of an inn. They are keepers of lost souls. They might be tight-lipped in regard to the stories they have heard and activity they have witnessed, but with the wink of an eye and all-telling grin, you know that there is something that lurks in the shadows of the Salem Inn. It's no secret that many of the homes and businesses of Salem are haunted. Stories of ghosts have plagued the city since its founding, so it should come as no surprise to anyone who visits Salem that no matter where they choose to stay during their trip, the chances they will encounter some sort of paranormal activity are high. And this is especially the case with the Salem Inn. One room has an archive legendary status that at the inn is room 17. Within this room, the guests and staff have claimed to have experienced the most activity. Reports of items mysteriously moving from one location to another. The sight of an unexplainable shadows are not uncommon. The trademark of every bed and breakfast is a guest book, and the Salem Inn is no exception. But while their guest book is filled with praise and gratitude, there is something different to be found upon reading the pages. What is so different? Well, the inn's guest book at times reads more like a Stephen King novel. In the Salem Inn guest book, you'll find tales from guests telling accounts of their supernatural experiences from the night before. And such, some of these stories share ongoings in the form of typical such as the laundries going a day so, but others have shared more chilling encounters. Encounters with spectral beings who suddenly appear upon their bed. After running their paranormal hotspot for more than 30 years, Dick and Diane certainly well versed in a strange happening that occurred, and as such, there is seemingly very little that actually shocked them. So, we know that room 17 of Salem Inn is perhaps the most haunted room in the inn has to offer. But who is it haunted by? That itself is a mystery. The ghost of the room 17 is believed to be a woman who some have dubbed her Elizabeth, perhaps referring to Nathaniel Wett's wife, who famously divorced him for experimental affairs. Although others referred to the spirit as Catherine According to a psychic who visited the Salem Inn, she claimed that room 17 is indeed haunted. Haunted by the ghost of a woman who killed her husband, who was killed by her husband. This betrayal by her husband has led her spirit ill-treated treatment of any man who stays in the room. Usually, when a man does spend the night in room 17, he'll become quite active in order to dispute their sleep. She achieves this by causing loud noises in the closet and stomping around the room. But don't fret, as there is supposedly a way to win favor with her. It said if you leave a tumbler of whiskey, or any alcohol for that matter, she just might leave you to a restful night's sleep. According to the members of the staff, there are 3 ghosts who roam the inn. Obviously, the star of that show is the ghost of the woman in room 17. But who are the other 2? Well, the second spirit isn't so much of a who, but is believed to be a ghost of a cat. Before going any further, it is important to note that these are no house cats. There are no house cats in the inn. Yet, throughout the years, staff have claimed to have witnessed the ghostly cat darting from room to the next. Some ghosts who are allergic to cats have even questioned the staff about the possible presence of a feline upon having a reaction. The last of the spirit triangle is believed to be the ghost of a child. The staff have said that they've heard the sound of a child giggling. At times there were no kids staying at the inn. Moreover, some staff members have also heard light footsteps following them around the inn. Footsteps so faint that they could only have been made by a child. Upon turning around, expecting to see a kid in need of assistance, they are baffled by the discovery of nothing. A woman named Kathy stayed at the West House during the month of July back in 2012. The room she had booked was not 17, but room 11. Apparently her encounter was the ghostly cat. As she tells it, she was laying in bed trying to get some sleep when she felt a slight pressure on the bed, almost as if a small animal had jumped onto the bed. She claims that the cat began to paw at her feet until she finally kicked it. Afterward, she didn't experience the cat for the rest of the night. More recent occurrences at the Salem Inn happened in 2015. The guest of the inn, Mary, was staying in room 40. She was content to stay in her room for the evening and had stretched out on the couch and was watching the television. Moments later, she heard the door which led to the room's balcony slowly begin to open. Nervous, she stood up from the couch as the door opened wider, then suddenly slammed shut. Not quite the relaxing evening she had envisioned. So who is really haunting room 17? And is there really a ghost cat? And who's the ghostly child? I guess nobody will really know until they figure it out. And if you notice me looking back there, I noticed something moving and it wasn't my dog because my dog was on the outside over there in that room. And that kind of creeped me out, because I did have a dog before her, and I'm not sure if it was the size of him, because he was bigger than the dog I have now, Annie, and yeah, that was kind of creepy. But anyway, thank you for watching my channel and watching my videos. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, haunted girl or spook you later. Until next time, sleep tight.